Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Debated Show. We got all the best guests coming to the show, from celebrities to music artists, film, TV stars, and much more. On this episode of Debated Show with Jordan Kensington, you've got GiaNina joining us on the show. GiaNina, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Fine. I'm fine, thank you. And you're joining us from what country and what state? Where are you now?
I'm in the US. I'm currently in California.
In California. Great to have you on the show. Great to have you on the show. And we're obviously recording live as well on all different platforms. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. And we are going to start with your very start, going back all the way from the start. Now, when you were growing up, what did you want to be? Because obviously we know what you are today, but when you were growing up, what did you actually want to be?
Growing up, I definitely thought that dance was the path for me. My mom's a dance teacher of many, many years. And so I immediately was put into dance. And I never left dance ever. I loved it. I, of course, tried different sports here and there. But I always was like, nah, I think dance is the thing for me. And at a very young age of 9 is when dance became my career.
I like that. I like the way you said nine there, because nine was a special time for you as well, because you debuted on your Broadway musical, well, not your Broadway musical, on the Broadway musical, Matilda. Now, how did you feel getting that role? Did you audition for it? Was it something that they called you out of the blue? How did that role come about? Because 9 years old, getting a role like that, that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, there was an open call in New York City that my mom, I think, got word of. Like, she just kind of found out about it and was like, "Yeah, like, let's just go." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." But it was a dance call. That's why we went. As the callbacks continued, though, it went through reading lines, and then it went through singing and all the things, and asking if you're afraid of heights, and just getting to know you. There was like quite a few callbacks. If I'm not mistaken, there was between like 4 to 6, and then that was it. But it really just was an open call with hundreds and hundreds of kids.
That's crazy. So you beat hundreds and hundreds of kids to get that role. That experience of Matilda, what did that teach you at 9 years old? Because, acting and being involved in a musical like that, you need to have some tenacity. You need to have some, you literally have to be very, very organized and focused. What did that teach you about this career and getting into it?
It taught me so much professionalism at a very young age. You don't expect a 9-year-old or anyone at the time that was like maybe 12 and 13 at max. Still, then you don't expect anyone to have the professionalism of a working like 25-year-old or 20-year-old. Um, I just think about it back then and I'm like, wow, I'm just 20 now as of June. And I had to do 7 shows a week for 2 years. And I had to be at the show 3 hours early to do, warming up and put my wig on by myself. And I just can't get over that. I could have easily done that now at 20 because you're older and you know things like that and you have, just like the etiquette for that. But
Mm.
at nine, 10, 11, I'm not sure
Yeah.
how I did that. I wish I had a little camera on me that I could watch it back.
I mean, it's phenomenal when you think about it, because a lot of kids at 9 years old, they just want to play in the park. They're not thinking about
Well,
going
funny enough.
into a show. Yeah.
Yeah, funny enough, in
So,
between shows, that's what we did.
well, there you go. But you must have been got that tenacity and that drive from your parents or someone you looked up to growing up, because those qualities of strength and tenacity and focus, when you've got something and making sure you start something and complete it, that's a huge, huge amount of talent and focus you need to have. What inspired you? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Or is it both of them?
It's definitely both of them. My mom,
Mm,
like I said, has been my dance teacher my whole life, and so she just always was my biggest cheerleader, especially with dance. Like, she was never the mom slash dance teacher. I know that the lines can
mm.
get blurred there, especially with moms being dance moms, but she was like the furthest from that. Um, she was nothing but the most encouraging and uplifting teacher and mom I could have ever asked for. There was never a time where she was like, "No, that wasn't good." Like, ever, 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 ever. And I swear that that is the way I am and why I am the way I am today. And my dad, like
I like
you
that.
just said, my dad is the kind of guy to be like, no, when you start something, you finish it.
Yeah.
And so
No, I love that. I love
I
that.
think the mix of both of them, they're the kind of people that I've always wanted to be, and I'm so glad that like my genes and the way I was brought up is I'm very lucky.
No, I love that. I love that. And talking about genes, your surname, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I'll let you do it. It, you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
Paul Antonio and
Go on
GiaNina.
again.
Paul Antonio.
Okay. Port Antonio?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, there you go. And is it Italian, Spanish? Where is that from?
Oh, very Italian. My entire name is
Very Italian.
GiaNina Marie Paul Antonio. Very Italian.
Amazing, amazing. Now, in 2017, you got to feature on the feature film The Greatest Snowman."
Showman. Yeah.
Now, how did that come about? Were you excited about that? Was that through an agent, or what was take us through the process of that feature film?
That actually was not through an agent. That was through casting networks. So
Okay.
anyone's able to go on casting networks. My mom found the audition, and we sent in a self tape, and that was all it was. And there was a callback, I think, in person, and then we filmed, and it was the coolest thing filming. Even though I was compared to the movie itself, I felt like such a small little portion of it. It just still
Yeah.
was a great experience, especially at such a young age.
No, I love that. I love that. And you've amassed millions of followers on social media. So social media, some of us are still trying to get our heads around it because it's way above our time. But you've managed to crack the code. You've got millions of followers on Instagram, on TikTok. First and foremost, how did you get those millions of followers? How did you get that reach? There's a lot of people who are on TV every day and don't even get those amount of followers. How did you get that, and how do you keep them excited? Because obviously, when you've got millions of fans following you, you now need to feed them, right? It's like they're hungry. How do you get them excited on a day-to-day basis?
I've definitely it was an overnight like it was not an overnight success with social media.
Yeah.
I've been on the internet since I was 9, since I was little. And
Well,
when during quarantine is when I decided to be like, this is kind of fun. And I started posting on TikTok and I started posting on Instagram myself. Like I kind of took the reins and was like, it's my turn to like do this. And I fell in love with it and it's never felt like a job to me. It's truly like fun for me. And I don't think even if I didn't have a following, I still would be posting the way I'm posting. Uh so yeah, it was definitely over the years. It takes a lot of dedication to like put everything into one, into one platform. So imagine having four. Like you have to know your audience on all four of them.
well,
My audience on all four of them are different kinds of. I always say TikTok is like my goofy, funny side. I can really post whatever. But I always have felt like Instagram is more of your resume, is more of your profile to be like, this is who I am, this is what I do for work, kind of a thing. And so having that balance is, I think, what's made my platform succeed. And keeping them entertained is another. I've always prided myself on the fact that my content is lifestyle, like
mm,
all around lifestyle. I've never gotten
mm,
stuck in a niche of things because I think that that shortens the longevity of it, in my opinion. And
true.
so I've always kept it literally everything. I dance, I sing, I do crazy TikToks, dances in my apartment. You can also see me just like cleaning my apartment. Like I try to keep
Mm.
it day to day.
So it's very unexpected. So your audience doesn't know what to expect on a day-to-day level. But one thing that we know you're consistent on is the dancing. Now, Gia, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I could dance until I saw you dancing. I'm not gonna lie, right? Because you're dancing, you're taking dancing to the next level there. So you're
Yeah.
doing all kind of dancing, and you are, and I think this is the era. I mean, TikTok is the era for dancers. Like, now there's been some greatest dancers from back in the day. You have people like Michael Jackson, you have people like Chris Brown, Usher. Um, what dances would you say when you kind of look at from back in the day? You're only 20 now, but obviously you've got people that you looked at, and you can say, you know, these dancers, yeah, I can learn something here. I could get inspired by this.
Yeah. Actually, funny you say Chris Brown. I just saw him in concert, and the
Mm,
dancers that he has, I'm lucky enough to see them in dance classes and know some of them. And so I was so excited
mm.
to go and watch because, I mean, he pulled old music in, he did new music, and I've always been a very big fan of the
How was
older.
that concert? You know, I know Chris. Chris is a good friend of mine. I know him personally, but his concerts, I've not been to the recent concert, but all I'm hearing is that this guy's doing like 4 hours worth of music. I'm like, what's
Yeah,
he on? Is it what kind of Red Bull is that?
we were there for hours. We were there for hours, but listen, I feel like a lot of those songs I grew up on. I've always
Yeah.
gone back to the old Britney, the old J-Lo, all the Chris Brown, the Usher. Therefore, I, as a dancer, especially as a dancer, I love a lot of his music. And so, especially all the old stuff when I was ready for and I was dancing to it there, I brought some of my friends. I was like, this is awesome.
I love that. I love that. Now let's talk about Dance Moms. Dance Moms was a TV show. Actually, I have a funny story about Dance Moms. That's a crazy story about Dance Moms. So we actually produced the National Film and Television Awards in America. We do in the UK as well, but we were launching in America, and we booked this mansion in LA online. And I think this was my first time going to LA because we were producing the award ceremony there. And unfortunately, we booked it online and it was like a scam. So it didn't exist. When we got to the mansion, they were like, we saw some mums coming out of the mansion and they were like, no, we are here. This is not, we booked this. So we ended up explaining to them what happened, and lovely. They were so lovely. They were like, you guys come and stay. And I'm like, no, 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 no. There was like all the dance moms and the kids were staying there. It's a huge place.
Oh,
I said, no, 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 we'll get a place. And they just insisted. It goes, no, no, you guys came all the way from London. You need to come. So we ended up staying there with them. They were there for rehearsals for like 2 nights. And
gosh.
I mean, we became friends and we invited them to the National Film and Television Awards in LA and all of that. You know, it was amazing. That was my first experience with Dance Moms, you know.
That's
So
hilarious that
I've
they
seen, yeah, I know, crazy. But I've seen the show become so successful and go from time to time. How did you get on the show, and what did that show do for you?
How did I get on the show? It definitely, in my opinion, was, like, years of work to get on that show, but there's a
Mm,
lot of lead up to it. But the short story is I was in LA in 2018, the summer of 2018. I, like, begged my parents. I was like, "Please let me go to LA." Like, come with me, of course, but, like, "Please let me go to LA. I really
mm,
wanna dance." They were like, "Okay." So we went for, like, 2 weeks, and within that 2 weeks, I booked a different show on Nickelodeon, and I was, like, taking dance classes all at the same time. And then while I was in rehearsals for that Nickelodeon show, which made us stay in LA for like 2 months instead of 2 weeks,
wow.
I was in also a bunch of like Skype meetings and Zoom meetings and phone calls with the producers of Dance Moms because they were interested. We got an email from the choreographer of Dance Moms, and she was like I was taking her class in LA that summer, so she recommended me for the show. It was a whole thing. There were so many moving parts all at the same time and all while we were in LA.
Mm,
It was like I really do wish that there was cameras capturing all of it,
yeah, yeah.
because back then, in 2018 and 2019 as well, things would happen, like, out of thin air. Like, the
Mm,
opportunities that came out of thin air, I just remember it was, like, truly felt like I was in the city of, like, where dreams are made. It truly did feel like that. I really wish I could go
mm,
back to that era and that time and that feeling because people are like, "Oh, like, yeah, like, that's where, dreams are made in LA," and it's true. I can
mm,
attest for it. So much happened that summer
mm,
simply just
mm,
from being in the right place at the right time, dancing in the right dance classes, like, there was just so much that happened that summer that I just wish I could have that feeling back again, just to relive it because it was such a weird time and surreal time to be, especially such a young age as well. I was only 12 or 13.
mm.
But then, Dance Moms changed my life. All the opportunities
Wow.
that have come in my career have always been a stepping stone to changing my life. And Dance Moms was a big stepping stone for me. Um, it was a way to be internationally known in 6 months.
Mm,
And so we took it and ran with it. And I made connections, I made friendships, I met people, I learned so much about reality TV. It gave me a public platform across the world. And it was an experience that you definitely have to just like figure it out as you go. It's one of those where it's like, no,
mm,
like, okay, this is happening now. Okay. One of those.
mm,
Um, but
mm.
yeah, it was something that I'll never ever take for granted. I wish I honestly, everything happens for a reason.
No, that's amazing. A lot of people who watch this later on, especially your age, you're 20 now, are looking at what to do in life, and some of them haven't found out yet what they want to achieve in life. What would you say to a young person who's watching from the UK, from the US, Europe, all across the world, and saying to themselves, you know what, Gia, you sound like you're going places. Like, what would you say to them when they're thinking, we don't know what to do with our journey and everything else? What kind of advice would you give to the young ones?
I had so much faith in myself as such a little girl, and it's carried with me to the person I am today. And I truly do believe that that is what has gotten me so far, is the fact that I've been like, no, like I will and can do that. Um, I really don't think that it's I really don't think anything's impossible. And I know that sounds crazy, but
Mm,
I put
mm,
my all and my work ethic and my mind to whatever I wanted to do, whether that was a dance class, whether that was a job that I was on. And even before that, I knew, I deep down knew exactly what I wanted to do when I was older. And I truly was like, nah, like if that's what I want to do, I'm going to go for it.
yeah,
I always say the worst thing that you could get out of it is someone just being like, no. And if
yeah.
someone says no, you
Also,
go
what's going to
elsewhere.
happen?
If
True.
someone says no, you go elsewhere. And so I've always said, like, you kind of have to have that YOLO mentality of just like, why not try it? Because the worst thing that someone's going to say is no, to be honest. The worst thing someone's going to say is no. And you just go elsewhere because you want to go somewhere that you were wanted.
I love it. I love it. That's some great advice for people out there. So we have this thing on the show. It's called a red box. That's a debated red box. And before any guest comes on the show, what we do is we poll the audience and get them to send us random questions, right? And obviously the show is called Debated, and it's like your hot takes and we will ask you your personal hot takes, but it's like this is everybody else's hot takes, and they want to know what you think about it. So
Okay.
it's going to be completely random, right? I'm just going to go in here and just choose something completely random. Okay, so random. First hot take that was sent in: social media's impact on mental health, love affair, or disaster waiting to happen. Now, don't forget, you are all over social media. Do you think it has an impact on mental health, or is it a love affair, or is it a disaster waiting to happen? What's your take?
I don't think it's a disaster waiting to happen. I fear it's already happened. It's already a little bit of a disaster
Ah,
sometimes
I love
because
that.
social media does have a huge impact on
Mm,
people. I think people forget that are watching that I'm a person, that you're a person. Like we're real people here.
mm,
So
yeah.
when you say things without thinking, the same way in real life, how there's consequences when you say something without thinking first. There's a consequence, and you're like, "Damn, I shouldn't have said that." You know what I mean?
Mm,
And listen, everybody's human. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone says stupid things, but you have to take accountability for it and fix it for the next time because you just never know what's going on behind the screen. I remember there was a time in my life that I was struggling, and I was like, the social media aspect and all the comments and the opinions did not help. Did not
mm.
help with that
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. And so I do think that social media has a huge impact on people's mental health simply because sometimes you forget that people are real people behind the screen, you know?
That is true. Do you think sometimes people should have a little bit of like a detox, whereby you have a social media holiday for like maybe just 2 days, if you can handle it? Have you ever thought about having a detox, or is it like you have to be consistent?
I don't think there's a problem if you need to step away for a second. Like everybody's different in the way
Mm,
that they handle things. Personally, I've always said that you have to be a very specific type of person and a very strong person to like manage the whole social media thing because you really have to not care and you really also have to remember like it's your platform, it's your page. And on your page, you only let in the people that you want because it's your page, it's your family
yeah,
that you're creating. So therefore, if there's someone that's saying nasty things, you just block. You can filter comments. Like I don't allow that in my comment section or on my page because it's almost like it's my house. Would you let a random person
yeah,
that was saying crazy things in your house? No.
that
So
is
why would I
true.
let you on my page? You know what I mean? So I do think it takes a very specific type of person to like a niche type of person just like be able to wrangle it and handle it. But everyone handles things differently, and that's life, and that goes with anything in life. And so whether that means you need to take a second, step away, then you do that. Or you need to block people, you do that. If you gotta filter comments, I also say you do that. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with you. All right, so next take from the red box, okay? As a division red box, and next take is this is interesting one. Would you stay locked in a room with your worst ex? Don't forget, not the best, the worst ex for 2.5 million pounds, and you have to stay for 250 days. Don't forget, would you stay locked in a room with your worst ex, not just your random ex, the worst ex, for 2.5 million pounds for 250 days? Wow, this question's a hardcore. Go for it, Gia.
I have a really good answer.
Go on.
I don't have an ex, so I don't have to.
Oh, good. That's a good one. No,
That's
wait. Nah, that's a no. That's a couple. If you had, would you? That's the question. But actually, I'll
um
let you up for that one. No, I'll let you off on that one. I'll let you off on that one because that makes sense. If you don't have one, there's no point thinking about it. All right, I
well
get another one for you. Right?
horrible ex. I don't got one.
Say that again.
I said a horrible ex. I don't even have one.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You don't have one, so that's a good thing. All right. So the next one. All right. This one is quite interesting. Um, what is a conspiracy theory that you know 100% to be true? Right. So what is a conspiracy theory that you know to be 100% truth? Go.
Oh, I'm not good with conspiracies. What do you think? You give me one and I'll tell you because I'm not good with these.
Um,
I don't know.
I have none. I can't think of any. What can I think? Oh yeah, are they seeding the clouds? Yes or no?
Are they what the clouds?
Are they seeding the clouds? Yes or no? Do you know what
What's that
seeding
mean?
is? Seeding
No.
means you got a jet in the cloud, seeding the cloud.
Like spying?
Is that a
I'm
yes?
confused.
No, no. All right. It's cloud seeding is when you've got. Have you ever seen like trails on in the sky when you got like planes making trails? You've never seen that? You've never seen that? Okay, okay.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yes,
I have.
it's called cloud
No,
seeding.
no, no,
It's
I have
when
seen that.
planes. Oh, you've seen that, right? So some people think that that spoils the weather, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but some people 100% think that spoils the weather. What do you think? You think no?
I don't think so.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right. So the next card of the box is right. This is actually quite funny one. Are we getting more comfortable not talking to each other because of gadgets? So, well, I'm older than you. So back in the day, we had less phones, less social media, less, gadgets and everything else. So people were more talking to each other. You had more people like have face-to-face conversation. It wasn't that difficult. There was less of ADHD. Do you think, talking from your generation point of view, do you think people are getting more comfortable going like, "Oh, I don't need to talk to you. We could just text."
Um, Only when it becomes to like in person. Like I
Okay.
do think I would be the exact same if even if I didn't have a phone. I'm
Right.
I'm very to myself as a person, I think. Um, like I'm not one to just like go talk to someone that I don't know and just be
Okay.
like, "Hey, what's your name?" Unless we're in like the same vicinity and there's no one talking to her and she's kind of standing alone or he, like, yeah, totally. But I'm not one to be very like social like that. I definitely just like love my circle and that's it. Um, but maybe I'm not like that on like text or anything. I love FaceTiming. I'm like, let's talk for real, for real. I'm not good at texting.
There you go, face to face. So I completely agree. So you are more a face to face person. All right. So I'm going to do a last one, and while I do a last one, you have to think about your own hot take. So what is your hot take? Obviously, you know what hot take is. Something that either makes you think like, why is this happening, or pisses you off, or makes you question things. So I'm going to do the last one on here. Not that one. Let me pick a better one. Not that one. Right, not that one. Okay. What is a double standard that you hate? What is a double standard that you hate?
Questions are so hard. Double standard that I hate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Um, I low-key don't hate this though. Is this even a double
Go
standard? I
on.
don't know. You know how like
Uh,
when you want ice cream and maybe you're to
yeah.
ask your friend that when you're with them, like, oh,
Yeah.
do you want ice cream? And they're like, oh no, like I won't get ice cream, but like I'll go with you. I feel like that's more of a friend thing, but then like when you're in a relationship, like you're expected to like want it too. I don't know if
You're
that's
expected
kind
to
of,
do it.
you know what I mean? Like that's
That
kind
is
of a double standard.
that is
But
kind of like a double standard.
for me, it's also like I totally have been on both sides. I've been on both sides of like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get it with me even though I want it. Like, you know what I mean? And I've also been on the side where like, no, like, but I'll totally go with you. And I feel like that's such a double standard for me to be like on both sides, being like, no. And then yeah. And so I feel like
Yeah, that is a double standard. It is a double standard. I
kind
like
of not
that. I
fair.
like
It's
that.
kind of not fair at all. But like if I really think about it, like I should just get the damn ice cream.
Exactly, exactly. So now, Gia, what is your hot take? So what's your hot take?
My hot take. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, like I have one? Okay.
Yeah, what's your one?
Mm, oh, easy. Hot take. I feel like all of the world will
Yeah.
disagree with me, maybe not. I love like fall, winter more than summer. And I think I finally come to the conclusion that I really do feel like that.
Like, wow, I
And I say that
completely
because
disagree.
the holiday
Go
disagree.
on.
I said you disagree, you like summer more?
Wait. Did you say you like winter more than summer?
Yeah.
Okay. So you like the cold?
I like the
I mean,
cold.
come on.
I low key love the rain and I love the cold and I love the coziness of it. Like I love Christmas. I love Halloween. Don't get me wrong, I love summer and it's so fun, but like I don't like being hot.
Oh, I like being hot. Like if you love cold, then you're quite welcome to be in London because London is the mecca of coldness, right?
Yeah.
People, it's cold and it makes people cold too, right? So it's like, yeah, I like hot. I like to be on a beach in an island, sipping a cocktail, just relaxing. That to me is life. In the cold, shivering. No, that's crazy. But it's your hot take. That's your hot take. Right. So we've reached the final part of the show, and this part is what we call top five. It's the part that people get to know the personality behind the person. All right, so top five. We're going to start with your top five best films of all time. Now, Giannina, think about this properly.
This is hard. I don't watch films very often.
Now you can go with random ones. Don't forget you can even go with ones that you've been on from ages ago till now, like of all time. It doesn't have to be recent. Of all time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, not to be biased in any way, but I truly do think that I think both Matilda movies, the original and the new one, are so great. I
Makes
personally
sense.
love the original. It was just because I just love it. It's such a good movie. I also
Mm,
do think The Greatest Showman is one of the best movies ever made. Not to be biased at all,
mm,
whether I was in it or not,
okay.
favorite movie. My family would say the same thing. Um,
Fair enough.
what can I also do shows?
Yeah, you can. You can go for it.
Okay, like I one of my favorite shows ever is Outer Banks, and I know that everyone has their own take on it, and like um I'm not cultured enough to be like that's the best show made ever because I'm not like that. I just love the show. And that's like very much my kind of show. So I would say Outer Banks, like for sure. I love Outer Banks. Um, oh, what are some other ones I've watched?
I think it's the final one. What's the final one?
This is hard.
Maybe you can say maybe you can say Dance Moms at least because
Well,
you've been for the show.
I don't know if I would
It's
say
not
that.
really a film. Right. So final top five is what is your top music artist of all time? You know, you dance 24/7. You should have some top music artists that you like. This one, yep, that's my artist.
I'm really big on artists that I'm able to dance to because they just like make me
Okay.
feel a certain way. An
Okay.
artist that I absolutely adore is, of course, I've always listened to J Lo growing up. Always, always, always. I love all of the old J Lo stuff. That's my jam.
Amazing.
I also love Alex Warren's music is just my favorite to dance to. Just last night, I
Amazing.
danced to Noah Kahn and Gracie Abrams. So love them as
Oh
well.
wow.
And then I
Wow.
would have to say, recently I've been a Lizzie McAlpine girly. So those are some for me.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Gia, it's been amazing having you on the show and wishing you all the best in the future and the best in your tour as well. You're touring. Do you want to say some of the places that you're going to be going to?
Yes, I'm actually coming to London in just a week or so. I'm so
You're
excited.
coming to
I'm going to
London.
be
You're going
teaching
to
at
my
Pineapple.
favorite dance studio. You're going to Pineapple Studios, ain't you?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And where can people find out more? I mean, you've got millions of followers online, but for people in London that might want to come to your stuff, where can they go? I know it's Pineapple Studios. What dates? Where can they go to?
Yeah.
Let the people know.
I post my flyers all over my Instagram story. There's links in my bio on my Instagram where you can find absolutely everything.
Amazing, Gia. It's been amazing having you on the show, and good luck with everything. And we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Well, that was Gia live and direct right here. Our next guest coming in is the comedian Kelly Ford coming in on the show. Kelly, how are you? How are you? How are you doing?
I'm brilliant tonight. Thank you so much for having me on because you actually got me out of doing the kids' bedtime. So
Well, you
kudos.
see, that's what we try to do. We try to get people out of doing things that they don't want to do.
Ah,
So it's good to have you on debated. You know what I like about your Baroness Kelly Ford. That's what we're calling you today, Baroness
yes.
Kelly Ford.
Well,
It's lovely to have you. Go on, go on.
thanks so much for having me. Just delighted to be here. And I think, given any opportunity, if you can give yourself a title of Baroness, Lady, or Lord, why not do it?
Look, I'm not mad at you. I'm not even mad at you. I'm taking it very seriously
Well,
because when the Baroness is in the house, you've got to be extremely serious with the Baroness. Kelly, how did you get into comedy? Because obviously, comedy is quite a juncture to get into, and you have to. Someone might have told you you're a little bit funny, or one day you were at school, you made a joke, and the whole class started laughing. What got you thinking? Yeah, do you know what? Comedy is something I want to do.
such a good question. And there's real similarities in your description in there. Like I've always felt like I've used comedy in school to kind of get out of situations or,
Yeah,
to make bullies like me or I've always felt like I've had kind of funny bones, I think they call it. But
yeah.
I I did the classic. I did the classic comedian thing, and I did Logan Murray's course 10 years ago above a pub in
Wow.
Camberwell. And over 8 weeks, Logan, fantastic teacher. Big up Logan Murray. He still does amazing courses. He's taught the likes of Rod Gilbert,
Oh,
Kelly
wow.
Ford, to name a few. But he's just a really fantastic teacher and enables you to find your inner clown, your inner plonker, and just to get really silly. And it was a brilliant course and gave me confidence to write that first 5 minutes. And then we showcased it to a loving audience. And then, you know, then you get put out into the Wild West. You go out on the circuit and you try that 5 minutes. I think my first gig was in Camberwell at the Cavendish. And, you know, and the rest is history. But I think, you know, it's a wonderful thing more than ever, this feeling of being able to connect human wise
100%.
with a room of people and feel each other in a sense of a moment and a piece of laughter. I think we're all getting so lonely and removed through tech that actually a room of people laughing together, it's so powerful. So to be able to make that happen for others feels like what a fantastic job, you know. There's the best job in the world.
No, I love it. You know, as they say, laughter is the best medicine. So your first 5 minutes you were talking about, you know, writing your first 5 minutes. A lot of people have different comedy styles. Some people write from observation, from what they see. Other people write from personal experience. And other people are just like, they just write from just tearing the audience apart, right? They literally just go in for the audience. What is your kind of writing style? Is it more personal experience? Is it more, you know, audience? Or is it more kind of going on, you know, storytelling? What's your style?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I think with a shorter set, when you're starting out, it's quite anecdotal. My first 5 minutes, I think, was about I wrote a piece about being a Boris bike. I mean, you're learning on the game. So as it kind of develops, and, you know, I've just recently did a work in progress in Edinburgh, which is a longer format, 45 minutes, developing into an hour for a debut next year. And that combines comedy with storytelling. And, you know, when I'm an MC, because I host my own gigs with my comedy promotion business, a laughter party, when I'm hosting, I'm in the crowd, I'm ripping everyone apart, I'm finding moments, and quite often, you know, in those moments there's no actual material, because the material is happening in the room. And actually people, I think, that's a completely different skill set. But, you know, if you're doing a 20-minute club set, it needs to be jokes. So quite often,
I mean, that's what people are coming there for.
So quite often in that moment, it's my style, I would say, is observational with a bit of sort of clown. I put a lot of faces, and I think, you know, I think in that environment it needs to be material and needs to bang, you know, probably at least 2 or 3 jokes a minute. Whew.
No, I like that.
So you obviously, where are you? Are you in a submarine, or are you in a
this is my office. This is my office. I'm in my office. Yeah,
it is cool there. It's a bit Godfather in its style, isn't it?
It is a little bit. I mean, you're a Baroness. I'm Godfather. It makes sense. It makes sense. So talking about comedy, there's a lot of comedians in the UK that we've had on Debated Show, from Ricky Gervais to recently Richard Blackwood, to so many comedians. What are your comedians that you've looked up to, who have inspired you in your journey throughout comedy?
I love that question. I have to refer to the Holy Trinity, which is Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, Joanna Lumley.
I went to Joanna Lumley's house 4 years ago. We did an interview. She was so lovely. She welcomed us, gave us some tea, and such an amazing woman. And what a career she's had. So inspiring.
Absolutely. And I just think I've got to include Victoria Wood in there. You know, these are like the British, brilliant, funny, I mean, just plonkers, bit of a twat, you know, like Dawn French calls herself a twat, and I would say I'm a proper twat as well. But, you know, I think even now, being on the circuit, there are comedians that I see that inspire me to be better. I could name a few now if I can. Mags McHugh, who I know who's been on your show. You know, I
Yeah,
watch
Max is the best. Max is the best.
She is the best.
Max, I love Max.
She loves you. But yeah, she is a truly fantastic comedian. Recently, I saw Tom Ward live again. He's just exceptional. Red Richardson, just brilliant comedians. I love seeing. I just recently saw Kay Kurd again live. Mushan.
Wow.
You know, there's just some really brilliant comedians, live comedians
True.
out there at the moment. Nathan Cassidy doing
Yeah.
fantastic work. Sometimes, you know, to a more boutique-sized audience, but I think we've got some really fantastic talent on the circuit and really to be celebrated. But in terms of inspirations, you know, Victoria Wood, that classy, off the cuff human.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love that. I love that. I love that. You mentioned Edinburgh Festival. You were there this year. We are getting ready to launch the UK's version of that. You know, London's version is coming to London next year, the National Comedy Festival, National Comedy Awards. We're very excited about that. What do you think of the Edinburgh Festival after all these years? There's a lot of people that find it very successful, and other people find it as very stressful. So a lot of comedians have mixed bags of emotions. I remember the festival back in the day. People used to get TV shows out of it. You know, there were loads of commissioning of, you know, programs, and there's a lot of exciting things happening there. So your observation of what you thought about it, what you think can make our London version of it better, because of course we have all the TV stations and networks here. We have all the people that fly to Edinburgh Festival here in London. So what can we do to make it more exciting for comedians and make sure comedians get their pounds worth from the festival?
I think this is super exciting, and massive kudos to you for the enterprise. I think it could be something really, really positive. I think the most important thing is accessibility, because I think the problem with Edinburgh is it's too expensive. It's become unattainable for people to go there and actually make money. And it's not all about money. Obviously, you mentioned there career progression, opportunities, commissioning, but quite often the opportunities are coming to those who have the bucks to have 50 posters everywhere, have the PR that will endorse them with the, you know, newspapers and media. And, you know, you can even see that some of the really big names are actually going for a free fringe opportunity as opposed to some of the big comedy promoters, just to find a way of making it a profitable experience. So I think there's a lot there in terms of accessibility, in terms of making it a financially possible for those who can't. And I must shout out to Best in Class, Sean and the team there, who give opportunities to those who are working class, who would maybe never get the opportunity to go to the fringe. And they are able to showcase this incredible talent that then have opportunities to go and monetize and maximize that opportunity. But I also would say it's accessibility in terms of diversity and the LGBTQ plus IA community. And that also feels really important, that people of color, the BAME community, the LGBTQ plus I are all represented fully and given brilliant platform and opportunities, because I think more than ever this is really, really important. So that's my feeling. Accessibility.
I like that.
I also feel like it would be really fantastic if those who haven't got the backing or the financial or an agent are given the same kind of platforms and opportunities and awards like the Ish Awards are doing with Sarah Bowles and Nathan Cassidy, where they kind of are creating a space where those without the big agents are given an opportunity to shine, and there's an award there. I think it just needs to feel a little bit of a fairer playing ground. But
It's got to be fair.
It's got to be fair. I was up there for 2 weeks. I took a work in progress up there, and it was a boot camp for me because I was away from my children. I haven't done it I've never done it like this, like a proper grown up. So every day I got up, I weight trained, I watched a show, I went through my notes, I flied for 4 hours, I did my show, and every day I did that, and just on repeat, because I was like, if I'm doing this, it's like the price has to be worth the prize. So I had to go in there, treat it like a proper boot camp. So I put my blinkers on, got to work, made my show as best as it could be. And you know what? You worry about the numbers every day. You're flying, you're trying to get people in. But actually, I read something that Ricky Gervais said, and it was so perfect. He said, don't worry about the actual numbers, worry about your show. And because mine was a work in progress, that really resonated, because I was like, my show time was 10:20, which is 3 hours past bedtime. And so I was just like, the numbers, you wouldn't necessarily get the same numbers as an 8 o'clock show, but actually,
of course,
the content is what matters. Even if you're performing to 4 people, you need to give them the best show of their life.
That is true. No, that is true, because you never know who's in the audience. Doesn't matter if it's one person in the audience, you just never know. No, it is. We everything you've said is kind of along the lines of what we're talking about. Creating something that's fair. We've done that in other industries, and bringing that into comedy is such an important thing. And you've said something that's completely accurate. It's a time where what we're living in today, that laughter is definitely the necessary medicine that's needed. So I completely 100% agree with you on that one. Now, obviously, this is the debated show, and the debated show has what we call on the show hot takes. And hot takes is when we take something from the red box and then ask you, these are questions that viewers have sent in the past, and we'll ask you some of those questions, and you will talk about it, whether you agree, you disagree, you debate, etc., etc. And then we're going to ask you for your own hot take. What is your hot take? Something that pisses you off, or something that doesn't piss you off, whatever stands out to you, you will let us know. So we're going to go through the magic red box, which I've got right here. That's a debated red box. And we're going to, wow! And then we're going to choose one of the boxes, something out of the box right now. So this one is social media. Social media's impact on mental health. Is it a love affair or a disaster waiting to happen? Social media's impact on mental health. Is it a love affair or a disaster waiting to happen? What's your take, Kelly?
I feel very torn on this question. For me, it's a necessary shop window.
All right.
So it's my shop window where you can see all the things I can do. And that's fantastic. But I just had 6 days away from Instagram. That's my platform of choice.
It's your detox.
And I went back in, and after 6 days, I felt like, what is this? And over the last 2 months, I managed to reduce my social media usage by using an app called Opal. And every day I have rules from 9 till 5 where I'm not allowed to access it. Now, I think
that sounds crazy. You're not allowed to access it.
Yeah.
What are you trying to access here, Kelly? It's all about social media.
Social media is a massive waste of life, and that is the issue. Imagine if I said to you, right, I'm going to put you in front of the television for 10 hours, and afterwards you'd be like, why have I done that? Like, the algorithms are so engineered into our dopamine systems that we're wasting so much life, and we're watching other people earn money. And I think it's good as a shop window. It can be a great inspo space, but I think if you don't have boundaries with it, or like parameters, then it will suck your life and time away. And I think it also gives a false sense of connection. I think that feeling where you feel like you're staying in touch with someone because you're seeing their images, nothing beats what we're doing now, a conversation.
That is
I mean,
true.
it's better face to face. But you know, that real human connection. And there's this amazing book by Matt Haig saying, it's Reasons to Stay Alive. And there's another one about connection. And he was saying, by using these platforms, we're losing our ability to connect as humans, which then
this is what we're saying. That's true.
So yeah,
that is complete. I completely agree with you. That's completely true. I think social media has to be. There's got to be a sense of managing your output in social media. You cannot be there 24/7. And sometimes you have to do a detox. Sometimes you have to step away like you did and then come back again and step away. I think that's so important. All right, so let's go into the next one is, oh, wow, this one is a crazy one. So it says, would you stay locked in a room with your worst ex for 2.5 million pounds, but you have to stay in there for 250 days? Once again, not just a random ex. Would you stay locked in a room with your worst ex for 2.5 million pounds for 250 days? What would you do, Kelly? What would you do?
That's like, I mean, wow. What would you do?
Yeah, that is.
What would you do?
No, I mean, it's not me. It's not me. What did you do? It's me asking the question.
You know
2.5 million. Well, look, if you're asking me for 2.5 million pounds, I'm like, well, we don't have to talk. I could be here, or we could sit there and play games. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to come out of here with 2.5 million pounds.
Do you know what? I don't know if this is just where I'm at in this minute, but
yeah,
I don't think the price.
it's worth
I don't
it.
think the prize is worth the price. And I think, do you know what? I would prefer. No, I just no.
You prefer your peace.
A terrible ex. No, thank you. I just think money comes, money goes. And
True.
the idea of like 250 days.
That's a lot of days.
Sweating in the same room. No, thank
No way.
you.
No way.
I love
money.
But
not that kind of money.
No, not dirty money.
I hear you. That makes sense, Kelly. All right. Our final one from the red box before we ask you for your personal hot take. Let's get right into it. What's the final? Which one is coming out here? Right. Oh, wow. Ooh. Are influencers good for society or harmful? Are influencers good for society or harmful? Kelly, what's your take?
I know some absolutely brilliant influencers that do some amazing work. And I'm going to say Anna Whitehouse, Mother Pucker, who's championed for flexible working. Why are you laughing at that one?
No, I'm listening. Carry on.
So yeah, Anna Whitehouse, Mother Pucker, who's championed flexible working for parents, and she's an influencer, and she's using her influence for good. I think the difficulty is when influencers are creating a lifestyle that's unattainable. I think that you have to be very careful. There's a fine line. I think influencers giving misinformation to younger audience. I'm raising young girls, and you know there is a number of beauty influencers out there telling young girls about different skincare products to use that aren't suitable for their skin, that could damage their skin. I think if you've got a platform and you've got influence, you need to be researching what you're talking about. You need to be totally responsible for everything that you're saying and make sure that it's, you know, it's been legitimized, it's been researched, it's backed up with information so that you're not giving misinformation. I just think there's no rule book, and I feel like people are able just to put stuff out there, and that's okay if you've researched it, you've got the information, you're telling the truth. But I think when there's a kind of false patina or fake news or misinformation, as an influencer, you should be held accountable and responsible, as a TV personality would, as someone in the public eye would as well. It all feels a bit unpoliced, and there isn't the due diligence around some of these areas, and especially skincare and children. Hence, Caroline Hirons, who's very big in beauty, has just had to write a book about skincare and teenagers. So yeah, I just think it can be influencers can make a really good difference and really help the world. But there is obviously this unpoliced element that feels a bit dangerous.
I definitely agree with you. There's a balance. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance. So Kelly, what is your hot take?
My hot take is, I feel really strongly that deodorant is made publicly available in people's consciousness, because I just don't understand. This is just
deodorant made publicly available in people's consciousness.
Okay, so I just don't understand how there are still smelly people around. Tell me, because I feel so confused. Why are there still so many stinkers? Because I know that deodorant is available on every high street, every corner shop.
Right.
Why do people not use it?
Well, there is an argument to that. There's an argument to that whereby someone who, I use oud, which is like natural oil,
What does
and
that mean?
it smells amazing.
On your armpit?
It's kind of, you can rub it. It smells better. It's natural. It hasn't got any chemicals in it. So there could be an argument that deodorants have a lot of toxic chemicals that might not be good for you. So those smelly people could be saying, I'd rather be smelly than deli. What do you say about that?
I say not on my train carriage, mate. Out of curiosity, do you not use deodorant?
I use oud. Oud is a version of. Have you never heard of oud? Frankincense and oud. Oud is it's amazing. It's like it smells better, and it's really good. It's really good.
You put it in your armpit?
Yeah, you put it in your armpit. It is that's where it's for. It's for your armpit. It's for you get it in Dubai quite a lot. It's very expensive in Dubai, but it's really good. But the good thing is it's natural. It's really natural.
We need to talk about this. Can you put it in the show notes? Because it's not a big take, this. Obviously I've got big takes on all sorts of stuff, but I just feel like every day I get on the London Underground and I just smell people. I just think, it's such a shame that they haven't discovered deodorant. And I just, we've all had that situation when you've worked closely with someone and they really pong. And you leave a deodorant on their desk, and I don't know. I just feel like we should it would make the world so much nicer. Another thing.
Have you ever confronted somebody who was giving you the worst smell ever? But a really nice person, very nice person, but literally every single day they have this smell. Have you ever confronted them and said to them, you know what, you need to sort it out, or you just think that's not you can't? It's not empathetic. You wouldn't do that.
I have put deodorant on people's desks who I thought a bit smelly. And there was one girl I used to work with, and when she got stressed, I could smell her
mouth.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
The mouth odor.
Just smelly. I was going to say one other thing, can I? And that is people that listen to things on their phone without earphones on public transport.
That was one of Mags's ones. She hated that. She has a solution for that.
What is it?
People who listen to her solution was she will play her music louder in front of them, and then obviously the music she would play, they would just have to stop because she doesn't have to speak to them. She play music louder.
That is very wise. Wise Mags.
So I love that hot take. I do agree with you to a certain extent. People need to sort out their smelling situations. I mean, with everything that's out there in the market, you don't need to be a smelly deli. You can sort that out. But also, there are concerns of, using the right products, because it's so important nowadays with all this crazy stuff, chemicals and products. You need to use the right product. I love that hot take. Do you have a bonus hot take that you want to add on before we move on to the next chapter? Do you have a bonus hot take?
Bonus hot take. If you have a dog, clean up your poo.
You have to clean up your poo. Don't leave it for other people. I completely agree with you on that one. If you're gonna decide to have a dog, sort it out. Look after your dog. There's people that just want to have dogs for the sake of having dogs. What's that about? You know. And if you know your dog is rude and stubborn, do not leave him off the leash when you're walking around,
Yeah, true.
because that's not good. That's not good.
I just
I
think
like that.
dog poo is in London. I don't know. Anyway, are you London in the bunker or are you in the submarine there?
Well, I'm in the heart of London, in Holborn, right
Oh,
now. Yeah,
love
in Holborn. Yeah, that's where we are. We're kind of next to your top secret comedy club, which is around the corner.
fabulous. Love it.
Yeah. So we are in that section of the show which is called Top Five. It's a section where we kind of get to know your top five best things of all time. Before we get to that section, you mentioned having family and you having kids and everything else. I've got kids myself. How do you balance your work life balance with the kids? And how do you? Max is just logged in. And Max dropped a comment. She said, "Agreed, Kelly. It's essential."
Oh, I love
Max,
that.
good to see you. Good to see you aboard. Max is the best. We love Max. We love Max. So my question to you was, how do you balance your work life with your family life and kids? Because obviously it's got to be a balance. How do you do it?
Oh, it's such a great question, and it's a daily struggle, as you probably
Yeah,
know. But I think I have an amazing husband, and
yeah,
that's the truth. That it takes a team, a village.
yeah.
So, when my babies were very small, I would get them. I would look after them during the day. I would get them ready, do the bath time, get them in their pajamas, and then I would sort of rugby ball past them over to my husband, who would feed the
Wow.
milk, as I would then take my breast pump out, and during a gig I'd have this thing in my bra where I would collect like 400 mils of milk, and then when I got back from the gig I was able to do a night feed. But there was complete collaboration there of my
Mm,
incredible loyal husband that has supported me on this wild and wicked journey of comedy to enable me to do that. And I think, like we all know, it's compromise, it's collaboration. It does take a village to
definitely.
raise kids. And
100%.
I
100%.
think we've always had a very good balance in terms
Mm,
of like understanding. And I will predominantly do all of like the cooking and getting
mm,
them ready for bedtime. And then literally he would be able to, from work, do stories, put them to bed. And it's a bit like that. I think it's
mm.
different working schedules ultimately, isn't it? But I
Yeah, it's
think
different working schedules. I was gonna say, don't tell my wife that. If my wife listens to what your husband is doing, you're gonna get me into trouble here. It's different. It's different work schedules.
it's different
It's
work schedules.
different.
But I think
No, I
also
love that.
it's communication ultimately. And I think
Mm,
there are times like Edinburgh, I was away for 2 whole weeks, and he
whoa.
enabled me to do that, and that's right in the middle of the summer holidays. But I think constant communication just means that you can collaborate, and I can do my work and he can do his. And I'm sure that's like that in most families, comedian or not. So big up, Pete. Thank you for enabling me to be a plonker.
Nah, amazing, amazing, amazing. Right, let's go into your top five.
Mm.
So I think you've mentioned it already, but you've mentioned your top five best comedians. So we're going to go to top five best comedy films of all time. There have been some huge, and it could be comedy films or comedy TV shows. So top five best comedy films or comedy TV shows of all time? You mentioned people are absolutely fabulous. So things like that. Go for it.
So number one has to be The Office Christmas special.
Oh yes, Ricky Gervais.
Absolutely love that. Second has to be Dumb and Dumber, the film.
Oh yeah, that's Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, just really silly, real
Yeah,
celebration
very.
of silly. Most recently, I have to say, Steve Coogan in the TV This Morning. Is it This Life?
Steve, I forgot to. You're talking about the radio, the one he was doing the radio show on, the parrot
No,
radio
it's
show.
the most recent one where he pretends to be a TV. He's a Good Morning TV presenter. I think it's called This Life.
Okay, I'm going to try and watch. I haven't seen that. I want to watch that because
I'll
Steve
send
is
you a link to
absolutely
that.
funny. Please,
It's
yeah,
truly
send that through to me. I want to watch
exceptional.
that. Yeah.
You might not agree with this one, but I think Elf is one of the greatest, most
Fair enough.
brilliantly.
Fair enough. If you say so, if you say so. Okay.
I just think
I like
it's
that.
touching and hilarious. And then
Final one.
my last one, in terms of best comedy telly, I think just some of the original French and Saunders, just so silly and classic and funny, and they're just really utter twats, and love them.
I love that. I love that. Kelly, it's been amazing having you on the show. And if people want to find out more about you, obviously, Baroness Kelly Ford, you want to find out more about Baroness Kelly Ford, where do they go to?
They would come to my Instagram, which in between the hours of 9 till 5, which is I am Kelly Ford. And yeah, I've recently launched a comedy promotion business called The Laughter Party, which I host and MC, and that has just been absolutely exceptional. I'm creating comedy clubs for brands. This year I've launched it. It's been really good. I've just completed.
So what do you do with the Laughter Party? What's essentially the service for people out there that might want to use that service?
Yeah, thank you. So it came about after 15 years of working in commercial TV production and marrying that with my career in comedy in a kind of perfect harmony. So a brand would come to me and want to create a comedy club for their business, and I would curate the talent, handle all elements of the production from call sheet to delicious beverages for the talent, and they would welcome their business members, their colleagues, their teammates, and we would have a comedy night. And it's been fantastic. We've had 5 very successful events for the likes of Fora, WorldPay, who are an international business, and we've had repeat bookings. And I think because of what we were talking about, people wanting to get together in a room and laugh, it's like people would come to me as a one-stop shop. I host the night, I curate the talent, everyone leaves feeling like they've created an amazing memory, they've laughed a lot, and it's been a fantastic venture so far, and I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen in 2026. Maybe we could do a little feature at your festival. I'd love that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Laughter Party, one of the partners of National Comedy Festival and National Comedy Award. Well, you heard it here first. Why not? We should definitely do it. Kelly, it's been so amazing having you on the show. And this is the first of many. This first of many. So that you're not a stranger to the debated community and debated family. And we look forward to having you on more shows in the future, and obviously seeing everything the Laughter Party is doing. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend, and take care.
Thank you so much. I've absolutely loved our conversation. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There you go. That was Kelly Ford on the Debated Show. What an amazing show it's been. We had GiaNina joining us from America on the show. And then we had also Kelly Ford, should I say Baroness Kelly Ford on the show. What an amazing juxtaposition. Amazing show. Thanks for all the people that tuned in, wherever you were tuning in from. Thanks for Mags. Mags, you make the connection. Thank you very much. much. Mags dropped the comment. She said, also, have you sorted out chatting on the train's carriage yet? Hurry up, you can sort this. If you don't know what Mags is talking about, make sure you watch her show. Go on our YouTube channel and go to the show Mags McQ. She has a solution to the knife crime problem, and her solution is outstanding. I'm not playing around. You need to watch that show. So go here, click here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and look for Mags McQ and watch her episode of Debated on the Tube, and you'll see how funny that was. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning to the show. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. We're going live again next Wednesday. We have a politician in the house. Yep. We also have a comedian in the house. Yep. We also have an entrepreneur in the house, or an entrepreneur even. So we have a comedian, a politician, and an entrepreneur. What could go right or wrong? Tune into the show next week, Wednesday. Take care. Look after yourselves and each other. And that's it from us right here on the Debated Show.